All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Oh, it looks so dark. Um, wow. It looks so dark. 1 minute. Yeah, that's better. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another wonderful message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I first and foremost like to apologize for yesterday. Um, I was ready to go live. I was preparing myself, but let me tell you, that little strength I had wasn't there. It just wasn't there, and I had to close it out. So I'm back again today with that same topic. Make it make sense in spirit and in truth. I'm going to do a series on make it make sense in spirit and truth. I'm going to do it for 14 days. I'm going to bring a topic or topics before you regarding things that need people make it make sense in the spirit realm. They can fully understand it in the natural. Now, did y'all see that? Did y'all not see how dark it got behind me? See, y'all think it was something wrong with me. Did y'all not see me cut on that light? You don't see how dark it's gotten? It showed me that, so what? You have the light on, but it's a darkness. You all can't see it. But I'm looking in and I'm looking back and I see that same darkness that was before I turned on the light. And when I turned on the light, it perked up. But now it went back to darkness. Now, something is going on. Yes, something is strange. It ain't strange. It ain't strange. Not for Sister Deborah, because I know what it is. Um, and it's not going to win over me because I have the fear of Yah, not the fear of that which is wicked and evil. Okay. And I don't know if anyone saw what happened. It's dark in the background. I turned on the light and it got light. Now it went back to darkness as if the light has not been turned on. Something's wrong with that, y'all. Something's really wrong with it. But you know, I'm going to press on because I got a wonderful message this evening. And I want to jump right on in. And I want to get to the core of the matter of what the Father wants me to be able to speak on, because he wants me to start bringing out information. And it's pretty much just planting seeds. And he would do the increase. That's not Sister Deborah's mission to do the increase. I'm just here to plant the seed. But what bothered me today is when I went into the study yesterday and this morning again, I realized how far we are from truth, y'all. We are a long ways from truth and have been since the beginning of time. Because after I really completed everything this morning, because I got up and kind of clammed on top of what I was given yesterday. I said, wait a minute, something going on around here. And guess what? I videoed this message 8 times. 8 times I deleted. Something's going on. You see, something is going on. I can't, and I ain't gonna say I can't pinpoint it because I know. But I talk about it at the end of this here message, because this here message is to give you some sort of insight of what we are stepping in, and it is to help us in where we are at today. And it's going to be something that you never gave it a thought. You never thought about it. You never would have known what Sister Deborah is about to say. You would never have known it. And that's the way I believe, without a doubt, it was the permissive will of the Father to allow it to be where it's at today. And I thank him for when he says knowledge shall be increased, because it's the spiritual knowledge that has been hidden in the dark. That which was in the dark shall come to the light in the last days. How do it come to the light? When the Father sends the light in the midst of darkness, and he turns on the light so you can see the darkness for what it is, what it was, and what it's going to be in the days to come. So I want to jump right in. And the topic is make it make sense in spirit and truth. Now, I will say, and I ain't gonna say, I will say anybody that really can't find themselves walking, living in spirit and truth with the light on, I'm gonna take out a few minutes to give you a chance to go to another page, because this is not for you. This is strictly spirit and truth. It is for the food for the spirit and the spirit only. It won't do anything for you. So if anybody is on this page this evening and they are not walking, living in spirit and truth with the light in their right hand, this message is not for you. You will not find your way, not in this type of light. Okay, so I want to press on, and I want to first and foremost start off in Proverbs. Oh, I got a lot to say, y'all. I got a lot to say. I want to first start off in Proverbs 22 and verse 6. And another thing I want to talk about is a young lady. The last time I uploaded a video, a young lady came in the comment and she went into this tools. She did an excellent job. This is what I meant when I say clam on top of Sister Deborah. This sister clammed on top, brought them tools on down. I said, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. She nailed the tools, y'all. You should go to my last, I think it's my last video, and see how she nailed it on down. She brought that bad boy down, because Sister Deborah talked about the tools as the Spirit leads her. You know, when she's talking, she throw in, see, that's the tools. But this young lady, she dug in to find and searched the tools. And she said, and then her second message was, I'm going to continue to look at things in tools. Because she nailed it, y'all. She nailed it. She did a wonderful job. So we're coming from Proverbs 22 and verse 6. Again, take this opportunity to slither on out off this page, because this is going to be sticky, y'all. It's going to be pretty sticky. So I suggest you kind of slide on out if you can, because this is going to be strictly food for the spirit, and this is going to be a serious, and this is the first day, the first message or lesson on make it make sense in spirit and truth. So we're coming from Proverbs 22 and verse 6. In the process of coming from Proverbs 22 and verse 6, we're going to cover some things, and I'm going to break it all the way down, but I'm going to try to move fast, because it's many of verses here that's going to bring all of it into one. And this is why things are the way that they are today. And these are ways that also the Father has suffered to be. Okay, permissive will. Okay, this is what he has suffered to be. You all might have heard about, I think his name was Cam Newton, a football player, and how he was attacked by from 5 to 6 young men, because I think they were more so like 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there. I'm not sure of the age. I'm just saying they were old enough to know better. Let's put it like that. And when you see all these so-called famous and news covering what took place with him, you hear all the tribe of Judah pulling on up. They just pulling on up on every corner. They pulling on up. They pulling on up. They having something to say about what took place. They had nothing to offer, you all. I sit back and I said, Father, listen to them. These men ain't got nothing to offer. Nothing. When I say nothing, they don't have no righteousness, nothing that can stand firm. They didn't have nothing that gave some sort of, how would I say it, righteous input. They were so busy trying to say that these young men should not have jumped on this guy because he have done a lot of things for young men, young black men, as they say. He have done a lot of things. He do a lot of donating, and he'll have camps for them for football, and all these things that he has done. And he's a man that always trying to do something in and among our black community. This is what it said. So they saying all this, but their outcome, this is what their outcome, all of them with the same, it's so powerful, but it made sense once the Father leveled it off in my spirit. See, that spirit and truth will make sense on every corner. I don't care what goes on. It's going to nail it. It's going to nail it. Let me get this. It's going to nail that thing all the way. It's going to reveal it for the truth of the whole matter. So I'm just like, Father, these men ain't even got no righteousness, no just. They don't have anything to instill in the young men that did what they did, or to Cam Newton. They didn't have nothing, but they were on one accord. That bothered me, y'all. That bothered me that they were on one accord. Guess what they was on one accord with? They were on one accord that it is the parents' family, and that the parents' fault. They're not raising the children the right way at home. That's what they want on one accord with. Well, Sister Deborah finna tell y'all something y'all never knew. Y'all never, ever knew. Y'all never, ever knew. But I'm finna bust that wide open. They're saying that home, the way they were raised. Now, 99.9 knowing that most fathers are not in home. You can say what you want to say because your father was in the home with you. My father was with me too. Okay. All 7. We were all raised by a 2-parent. We were considered the black Lever to Beaver family. So don't play that. Don't go that route. So this was definitely, that's my life. Okay. So, but what I'm saying to you, they know that the best thing to put this on is home. The way these young men conduct themselves has to do with the way they were raised at home. That's what they're all the men that have something to do. I'm gonna call them the Negroes. Men, that's what they had on one accord when all of them spoke. They were angry. They gave their insight. They gave their opinion, but it was always lining up with home. It reminded me of someone. It reminded me of Adam in the garden that never owned up to what wrong he did. Being so, you were the one that I put out there. You were the one I gave the instructions and direction to, but yet you abide not by it. I'm not looking over here at woman. I'm talking to you, man. I created you and I gave it to you. And even to today is where it still stands. Man will not own that thing. Now, it's better for them to say those boys or those young men, it's the problem come from home. They wasn't raised. You know why? For all of these years, and that's what made me really sad yesterday, y'all. It made me really sad. Father, all of these years, thousands of years, men never owned up for what they were created and responsible for doing as a creation of the Most High Yah as a man. And when he broke that thing in me and out of me, I was like, I feel bad. I went out, I came back, and I felt really sorrow because I realized, y'all, this is deeper than deep, and we're going to cover it. So when I hear people talk about it's the way they was raised and it's home, the reason why they like that because of home, go on with that scapegoat. Go on and use that as your scapegoat, Adam. That woman in the garden was his scapegoat. Had not she been there, he wouldn't even probably he gave him the charge of instructions and direction. He would have went on and done it. Had not she was created. It was because he used her as the fall guy, as the reason of why he disobeyed. That's why the Roman Catholic went in there and smeared it and twisted. And the reason why you're going to know, when I finish with this lesson, you're going to see, wait a minute, Deborah. Wait a minute. Because it's going to line some things up. Okay? It's going to all make sense. So when I heard him talking about Cam Newton and what took place, you didn't hear no righteous come out of one man's mouth. You didn't hear no righteous come out of not one. Even the news reporter, which was Europeans, they were so delighted to cover it because it's like black on black as usual, black on black. Black men, Negro men, tribe of Judah. One thing they was missing, the father told me, but Deborah, they weren't missing this. This is what the father had to school me on today. He said, Deborah, it wasn't that they was missing something while they're in captivity. This is who I've been dealing with since the beginning of time. It's just that I told you knowledge was going to increase, and I'm giving that spiritual knowledge to you so you can break that thing up and break it down. Because what everybody think is that it's okay to have 99.9 darkness out here with no light. The father said that's a lie that came out of the flesh of men, that he's going to pull up in some light somewhere along the line. So if we thinking everything is supposed to be hidden and secret and not brought out and revealed, he said, no, that which is in the dark and were in the dark shall come to light in the last days. I'm bringing it out, Deborah. And you know how I'm bringing it? I'm bringing it out with more knowledge that has been shelved to the side so these men can live this evil way. And we're going to deal with that, y'all. We're going to deal with it in a way that ain't no pastor, no bishop, no priest, no Maureen, no seer, no watcher, no evangelist, no prophet, no prophetess. Nobody ever broke down to y'all. I'm finna break it down. And guess what he's going to allow me to do? Through the spirit of his word, he's going to park me right into the study guide. He said it's plainly seen. Not only is it in the spirit realm, it's plainly seen in the natural, because I want you to pull up in the spirit, park that bad boy, and give it to him in spirit and truth, that which is plainly seen in the natural. So it's been a thing that's been going on, he said. But where he took me all the way to the beginning. He nailed that thing all the way to the beginning. So let's go. Proverbs 22 and verse 6. Chapter 22 of Proverbs, verse 6. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Now, just stick with me for a minute, y'all. Just stick with me. You're going to get it. It's going to all make sense. But if it don't move you in the steps that the Father might have ordered in your life, and you still get stuck back there, you can stay right back there, baby, because that's where you need to be. Back there, okay? Proverbs 22 and verse 6, and it reads, first it says, train up a child in the way he should go. I remember a year ago, or probably a little over a year, I said to him, in a way he should go. What Father, how can one train up a child in the way if he don't know the way? She don't know the way. He said, but Deborah, there's only one way. And I'm like, it's only one way? He said, yeah. Train up a child in, what did it say? In the way. Which is that way, Deborah? In the way he should go. He said that. Now, first and foremost, he wants us to understand, when he said train up a child, he told me, stand down. I'm not talking to you. And I'm like, I had to raise all those children. He said, but you raised them with your law. But I charge man to be responsible. So if you raised him, it's because man didn't do his part of what I created him to do. Now go back to the verse, Deborah, but I want you to stand down. And I mean stand down. That means move out the way. Let me say this to who I'm talking to. is what he said. Stand out of the way and let me speak. That's what the Father had to charge me with. Because I'm not speaking to you. This verse ain't talking to you, Deborah. This is what it says. We talked about this before, but watch how deep he bring it in. In Proverbs 22, this is Psalm. Proverbs 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go. He want me to understand. He got me already. He won me already over. That child is here. All of these fingers are sperms. He said, where are they found? Where do the world know that the sperms are at? In the man. And he said, what other way do they call those sperms? Seeds. Okay, when they over here to man, that's why I told you to stand down. I'm not talking to you. Women need to be checked in the way they apply this study guide to them and them only. They need to know when he is speaking through the Ruach to me and let him speak. Get your tail out the way and stop trying to cover him up. Because that's what we've done all these years. We covered them up. We hid them so they could not be seen. Stand out the way, Deborah, I'm speaking. Sperms are seeds. Seeds are sperms, Deborah. They were given to males. When I said, let me make you a helpmeet, she was coming to help you meet my will to bring life forth. Woo! My will. It wasn't my will that you get your thing off. It wasn't my will that you get your pleasure. It wasn't my will that it'll be about you and yours. It was my will, not your will. So those sperms, Deborah, was in them, protected in them. The transfer word for them to bring it into woman. And she's taken from there by nurturing, feeding, bringing that baby forth, birth, breastfeed, feed, and nurture. Bring them out. Bring them out. Keep them to her breast. Breastfeeding. But when it come down to training them up, man's supposed to pull up. That's his turn now. He's saying that when he said train up a child, how dare you say to, he was telling me they ain't got no business in no pulpit. They ain't got no business preaching, teaching, leading, guiding, ruling, nothing until they rule the first thing y'all gave them. And that was seeds in him to bring forth. How can you rule anything? How you going to rule a household when you ain't took care of your children? How can you do anything and call yourself a leader when you ain't even led your children? These are your seeds that came straight out of you. And he said you left them with woman. I said train them up in the way that they should go, not the way you go, the way your parents go, or the way you think it should go, but in the way in which they should go. So I said to him, "When can I still ask a question?" He said, I said, "Well, what way would you say?" It's only one way, Deborah, that I say a man take those seeds, and when they come to the point where he needs to train them up as a child, it's only one way, and that is righteous. Train them up in the righteous way. And when they get old, they will not depart, because righteous will remain in them. From that time you trained them up in it to the time they become old, that righteous rests therein. He's telling them, if men left these children, this is what you see the whole world. And he went to telling me, when you heard James Brown said this is the man's world, the world was given to Satan. And man is partaker in it. So this is what they did. All of these daughters and sons that you see, you and I, we come from the men. And if they don't train us up, y'all ain't looking for a woman. You won't find it nowhere in scriptures. Even if the Roman Catholic try to smear it up, y'all are kicked back and let you know I brought the seeds in him. He's supposed to train them up in the righteous way. If he failed to train them up in the righteous way, then Deborah, that's what you see in the word that I have allowed to come forth. Because what did I tell you? The reason why y'all been in captivity is because of who? Not the four mothers, but the who? The four fathers. It's still going to be like I said it is, not what they tell y'all, what they teach y'all, what they train y'all, what they manipulate and deceive y'all to believe. Those seeds come from him. How dare he get away and run away as if he didn't drop his seed somewhere behind? Who thinking that they're going to come before the mighty throne, talking about representing the Most High Yah? When they come before me, I'm going to question them about the seeds that was in their womb that I gave them that brought forth. First thing I'm going to let them know, Deborah, what did you do with what I gave you? They're going to think, oh, when I had 200 million members and I taught and I praised and worshiped you. No, bro. I'm talking the one I gave you in your womb. What happened to those seeds? Did you feed them? Did you clothe them? Did you train them up in the way that they should go? Because that's where your first righteous is supposed to stand, with your own seed. How is it your righteousness is not going to be trained up in your own children, but you lead in the flock? How can you lead all of these people in the sanctuary, in the church, in the temple, and forsaking your seeds? Many of them has done that and still doing it today, and proud. And no one charged them. No one questioned. No one said, wait a minute. I hear women used to come to me, Miss Deborah, my daddy was a Rolling Stone. I got so many siblings, I ain't even met them all. That's the fact of what was yesterday. Why everybody want to lie about yesterday and make yesterday something so glorious and so wonderful. The Most High said, Deborah, don't you ever get caught up in that. He said, what did I tell you about 20, I think it was 27 years. He had to refresh my mind. What did I tell you? All that darkness, I'm going to bring light. And it's going to show up in all that darkness in the end days. Because what they thinking, and a lot of people thinking that all this darkness can stand here, but we don't want to hear nothing about light. We don't want no light revealed on nothing that's going on. So what? Let them do what they want to do. As long as they ain't bother me. No, that which is and was in the dark, that bad boy pulling up in the light in this last day. So what he was explaining to me here in Proverbs 22 and verse 6, train up a child in the way that he should go. So he told me to stand down. He wanted me to understand. I don't care what you say. This is between man and me. The way that he was to train up those children was in righteous. That's connected to me. I am righteous. And if he had the children and left them because he got another wife and another girlfriend and another concubine or whatever they want, this is the sort of trash that's coming to my throne, Deborah. This is the sort of trash that's going to try to pull up at the throne. This is the trash. As if I didn't give them those seeds and brought life, blew my breath of life. I'm holding responsible for my breath of life, but they get away from being responsible for their seed. Yah forbid. How must he be responsible for his breath of life in our children, but the man has no responsibility for their own seed, but Yah's responsible for their life. Man is responsible because he is the seed that was given unto him in his womb. How did he add to it? Yah gave that seed life. Brought it forth for man to think he can duck out and not be responsible. The Father said, using this mess about woman getting no welfare. He said, that's just like Adam in the garden said, that woman. He said, it worked to the world. They looked at it, they said, that's good. And they followed it. They believed it. But it ain't going to work in the days to come. And when they come to the kingdom, when they come up on the throne, he said, it's the same trash they're going to come up with. And I'm going to even ask them, but remember, what happened to what I gave you? What I blew breath into that seed of yours. You see? You got nothing to do with woman. You got nothing to do with woman. You got nothing to do with woman. And we taking on all this turmoil as if it would all had to do with us. And y'all said, stand down. Let's get to this lesson, and y'all gonna find something out y'all never knew. Let's go. So in Proverbs 22 and verse 6, train up a child in the way that he should go. Now we know that the father is talking to the men. And not only is he talking to the men, he's telling them to train them up in a way, in the way. The way is righteous. The way is of y'all. That's it. There's no other way. There's not mama's way, grandma's way, sister way, auntie way, uncle's way. Only one way he was charging the men to train the children up in the way. And only one way is that, and that's the way of righteousness, which is the Most High Yah. Now, what did he say? And when he is old, he will not depart from it. Now, do y'all know right there, there's something going on right there? It's something going on. 99 trillion wouldn't figure it out. But I will, because the Spirit revealed it to me earlier today. He said, what's going on there, Deborah? It's already separating the serpent seed from the spiritual seed. Because the only way a man can train up his child in that which is righteous is a man that has righteous in him from his birth. If he's a serpent seed, he can't train up his children. So that's what you see in the world today, Deborah, when you look. You see, that's that other fear that man needs to be fearful of. You see, this is actually showing you. If he's sending a charge like this, you can get up on these pulpits. You can be a pastor of a congregation of 200, 2,000, and lead the whole congregation and not teach this message here. Why? Because it's not in you. You are the serpent seed. So a man that's the serpent seed ain't going to train up their children in the righteous way. And the righteous way it's not meaning perfect or excellent or sinless. No, that's not it. That's not it. You train them up in a way because the way is in you already as the spiritual seed. So he was trying to explain to me that's why the world is in the condition that it is. That's why these guys can be saying, oh, those young men shouldn't have jumped on what his name, Cam Newton. They shouldn't have did that, but that's how they was raised in their house. The father said, if you check yourself, you'll realize you was the one that raised them. They don't see that because they're so busy saying that woman is the only one in the house. Because we left our responsibility. We left our liability. We left to teach them what is righteous. We left them to teach. We left these children to show them. We left them. We didn't ever show them what was right. And then their first thing they said, well, my parents didn't teach me. And then other the parents don't teach me. Then we finna wrap that up right here and now. We're going to show you how and why he visited the iniquity of the children throughout the generations. Because your parents didn't teach you. And their parents didn't teach you because they are the children of the serpent seed. Nobody was taught. I told you all when I was 4 years old. I was my mother only one in the household. You see what I'm saying? Only one that was whining and always felt that I was intact or in line with the Most High Yah. Now, my dad, later on, when I learned of who he was and the person that he was, when I became a teenager and learned all this stuff about him, well, y'all probably tell me, Deborah, your not your husband, your dad was kicked straight out to your family, to your mother, from the throne of Yah, because he comes strictly from the throne. I mean, that's what y'all would say. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. People thought our family was the goody family. We was the Leave It to Beaver family. Black Leave It to Beaver. That's what they used to say. So we was the family didn't you ain't see all drugs and all this chaos going on in the family. We didn't have that, y'all. I don't think it came from my mother. I know it came from my father. Praise the mighty Yah. I know it came from my father because of what Yah told me when he passed the day he passed away. The words that Yah put in my heart. I knew it was from, but in coming up, I knew my daddy was special because he wasn't like other men. It wasn't like other men. So here I'm telling you, in Proverbs 22 and verse 6, it takes you to a whole different mindset. It didn't have, women ain't got nothing to do with that. He's talking to me. And he said, because we never stood down, we took on, every time they fall, we there to pick them up. No matter what they do, we here to hide their wrongdoing, their wrong sin, their not being responsible. They're not being liable. They're not doing what they should supposed to do as a man. We always, even when we had to raise their sons, we did the same thing. We let man escape the mission that Yah had for him before the foundation of the world when he brought him down. But we, as women, we interfere with that. We gave them a way out so they won't have to be responsible for their children. We showed them, if you're going to leave and you're going to go here and you're going to sleep here, you're going to go here, you're going to go here. I tell you what, I just take care of the kids. Next thing you know, once every month or every year to come back to see the kids and gone. Never took on the responsibility, but the father said, come on, bro. I see you at the throne. Praise the mighty Yah. I heard this one guy. He's supposed to be a football player. He had a European wife, 8 babies. Now, these kids were like from this here size, this young. I mean, something like 8 and under. You done had 8 babies by this lady. And you left to go to a camp where you can have another wife and have more children. And you think you're going to stand before the throne of the Most High Yah? I don't think so. And the Father wants you to know you ain't going to get it. And this is the type of place this Pastor Dow breathed. He breathed the men in a way of saying, I can get you out of the fire. I can get you out of that type of living, that situation. Come go with me. I'm going to show you where I'm going to give you, Satan, all the way. I give you this. I give you this. I give you a land you can live on. You don't have to work. You don't have to do nothing to keep up your land. You don't have to do nothing but help build. And you don't have to be responsible for the government or anything. And matter of fact, all the children you have here, you don't have to get a birth certificate or a social security. See how he then warped their minds. But the father said, Deborah, it was messed up from the floor up when they was in their promised land. That's when I said, that's it. Because this shows you that this is how they always been. And he was dealing with me today on the fact that we can look as women and say, when this is how it is today, the father said, no, that's a lie. The land that you're in and the things that's going on is not something you're going to be able to stand before the throne and charge Europeans, heathens, and Gentiles. No, you're not. I got spirit and truth, he says. I got the true fact. And all this here stuff that everybody and these men are what are they doing? They escaping again. They're escaping their responsibilities, their duties as a man. Their responsibilities. They have gotten away with it for so many years to where they pulling up today. And that's why their heart is hardened against women. Because they ran out of reasons of why they haven't done what Yah created them for. Now they go right back to the beginning, that woman. So when they sit and said that those young men home, they wasn't raised right in the home or something that the home done, that's showing you another escapeway. That's what's drilled in these men. But the father said, I see them on the other side. And see, the thing about it, I always say to the father, they thinking they looking at the idea of they're going to cross that bridge when they get to it. He said, no, many of them ain't going to even cross it. They ain't seen nothing yet on the earth yet. They ain't seen nothing yet. So let's go to Isaiah 54. In Isaiah 54 and verse 13 and verse 14. Now watch how it bags Proverbs 22 and verse 6 up. Watch this here. In Isaiah 54, verse 13 and verse 14. And all thy children shall be taught of Yah. All thy children shall be taught of Yah. And great shall be the peace of thy children. See, he's telling the men, if you stepped in your place, these young men wouldn't have been fighting this man. That's the true reason why they're fighting. It's because men has never taken their righteous place from creation. And the example shows you just as plain as Adam and Eve. The father stood one-on-one and told Adam, this, don't do this, don't do this. What was he doing? Instructions and directions. And Adam didn't keep it. The two, instructions and directions. That's all he gave him. One man and instructions and direction. He didn't keep it. And this is what you see today. The same Adam still didn't keep it. They don't give rats behind about Yeshua HaMashiach. That's why you don't hear nobody really talking and expounding on the gift that he came down to teach those men how to walk, how to talk, how to conduct themselves. They couldn't get it. They couldn't grip it. That's why you never hear them teaching it. They won't. If you don't want to say Jesus, that's on you. Come on with the Son of Man. Pull on up with him. They can. Because he's so different than they were. He's so different than they even want to be. So they ain't going to pull up and teach the Son of Man. They ain't going to teach how Son of Man talking about the Most High Yah this, the Most High Yah this, my Father this, my Father this, my Father. That's what he did. That's what a son does. When he's taught by his Father, he gives his Father the glory. You see? My Father did. All that you see is of my Father. All the miracles and signs of my Father. The words that I speak of my Father. Yeshua constantly told them, my Father, my Father, my Father. But what did they say? Oh, no, we ain't finna pull up like that. Because then we're going to have to identify us as fathers. That's what they did, y'all. And that's what they're not one you should be listening to on this devil platform. Name one of them. Because they are not speaking any spirit and truth of no matter, no light in their hand. They ain't talking about nothing but chaos so they can keep getting licensed subscribers. They ain't talking no spirit and truth. Even Yeshua had to pull up and he identified the Father. Lady asked him, can my son one stand on the right side and the left? He said, that ain't for me. That's of my Father. That is already given to. That got to do with my Father. What did Yeshua say? What did Yeshua say to Peter? Peter, wait a minute. Hold up, bro. Flesh and blood didn't reveal that to you. But who? My Father in heaven. Always giving the glory to the Father. When the Father want me to say to you, that's the way men were to be. They should be getting glory from their sons. They should be getting praise, honoring. Now listen to Isaiah 54, chapter 54 and verse 13 and 14. And all thy children shall be taught of Yah, and great shall be the peace of thy children. Who is thy? He's telling them me. I gave them to you. They're in you. Them sons and them daughters too. They're in you. And what did I just say? Great shall be the peace of thy children. Only if you're able to be responsible and obedient to what I created you to be. So when they were out here talking about homosexuals and people out here, all these homosexuals and politics, see, you know, all that, they like all that. Why? In sports, they like, yeah. Take them from their responsibility and their duties as men. That's why they get caught up in all this football and basketball. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I love it myself. I love it. But let me tell y'all something. With men, that's their way of escaping from their created responsibility. And they feel content. They feel fulfilled. If I can get with the guys and watch sports and drink and do this and do that, or if I can get the guys and they make me feel like I'm a king, I'm a leader and a ruler. If I can get with the guys and they can be negative toward the women, I'm all in there. I'm in there. That's where they flipped. They gone. So when I was telling y'all 2 years ago, he said it's finished. He meant that because these here ways are ways they have gotten away, and nobody said a mumbling word. And he told me today, Deborah, it wasn't just the tribe of Judah, but it's also all men. They got away from the responsibility Because the first and foremost responsibility is to train them seeds up in the way that they should go. Instead, they took off and left the seed there. I didn't tell a woman to train no children up. I didn't tell a woman to do these things in which she's doing. I didn't tell her that. I didn't tell her to be responsible. We're going to pull that up, y'all. Y'all going to find that out. So when you get to 14, we're still in Isaiah 54 and verse 14. Listen to what he said. In righteousness shall thy be established. What is he talking about? Isaiah 54 and 13. And all thy children shall be taught of Yah. Drop down to verse 14. In righteousness shall thy be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near to thee. Why? Because a part of Yah establishing you, men, was for you to teach your children of Yah, which is righteous. Listen to where it says, Isaiah 54, verse 13 and 14. Hear it, y'all. Now watch what it says. And all thy children shall be taught of Yah, and great shall be the peace of thy children. Look at it. I like that great, because we know only one great is Yah. Go to 14. In righteousness shall thou be established. And listen how he telling you, no matter what go on in your life, it ain't gonna hold you down. Listen to what he said. Thou shalt be far from oppression. Even though you're oppressed, you're gonna be far from it. Because righteousness has been established in you. Because you taught your children of Yah. He's talking to the men, y'all. Now watch this here. For thou shalt be far, thou shalt not fear. See? Meaning you ain't gonna have no need to fear the world and man and nothing out here. And far from terror, you're gonna be far from terror.